Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection show. As usual, we hope we can present you the best of what we can, either from the internet or the web or somewhere here and there. Also, as usual, I would like to introduce my colleagues here with me tonight in the studio. Engineer Farah. Farah, how are you?
I'm great, and how are you tonight?
Thank you very much. What have you got for us?
Tonight I'll be discussing the latest technology with innovative ideas along with the poems that you like the most, and it's all about garden and nature since you like that as well.
Very nice. Thank you very much. Yes, I like nature and I like also poems. Let us move to welcome also my other colleague here in the studio, Dr. Amna Al Qaoud. Dr. Amna, how are you?
Fine, thank you. Nice to meet you tonight.
Thank you very much. What have you got for us tonight?
Tonight I would like to share my viewers some of the nice book and health issues and some kids application and some quotes at the end.
Thank you very much. As usual, you will bring the best of what you have. Also, our dear viewers, we have some reports during the show. Let us go to the first segment of the show, straight to the personality development with the big smile and the positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection show, to the personality development segment of the show. As a matter of fact, let us go straight to see what we have on my monitor. For tonight, I would like to speak about a subject called "What if people ignore you?"
That's the worst thing that could happen to anyone.
This is a heartbreaking.
Either if it's at home, with your family, friends, at work, it's just
everywhere. Everywhere. This is a heartbreaking, doctor, because you have to go to the psychology of treating people, especially the
especially
patient.
if you care a lot about that person that's ignoring you.
Exactly. Well, this is heartbreaking. To avoid or to ignore somebody, or for reason or at all, it is a subtle way to gathering attention or getting. If suddenly you find about people that are ignoring you, then most probably you are doing well and you don't have time to pay attention to others. Well, it could be either way. You don't pay attention or they don't pay attention to you. A person who is ignoring you is behaving like a person shown in the image above. This is the image here. Somebody, you see, crossing their hands, closing their eyes. People ignore you. That does not mean that you are stupid or you are being neglected. Perhaps that some people are liking you, but they don't to explicitly observe this information with you. He is ignoring you means either you are not matching with him or you are mindset in the mindset, or he's trying to get your attention. Ignoring people means getting their attention. Wow, this is something a little bit fishy. If you stop gossiping, then people who love gossip will avoid you and you will lose them as a friends. Well, this is not much needed. Birds of the same feather flock together. This is what they call it. Sometimes a person can ignore you because he is unable to dominate or manipulate you. Well, this is very true sometimes. Sometimes he ignores you because he feels inferior in your presence. Well, this is very true also. Some people do so, and they want to escape from the reality. So there are maybe hundred reasons why someone ignore you. Well, the question is how to deal with this kind of situation. Always remember that the person who is ignoring you will never give any clarification for his strange behavior. So never ask him why he is avoiding you or why he is ignoring you. Well, this is the question, to be or not to be. So the last slide is, that is not what happens to you, but how you perceive that situation and give that situation a meaning which serves you most. So this is, next time someone ignore you or avoid you, then don't feel sad or bad about it. Just accept the fact this is the way they treat you, and then get the confidence of yourself, and then it reach something and uplift this. And you have to face the fact sometimes in our lives, people do such things. Our dear viewers, let us move now to another part of the show. That is the innovation after the break with the biggest smile and the positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers. Let us go straight to Farah to tell us all about the innovative ideas from the technology and otherwise. Farah, the floor is yours.
Yes, today I'll be discussing mostly about the home technology, innovative ideas at home, the things we're going to see maybe in the next 5 years, and what we would see probably in the future, that everything at home would be connected to a certain gadget. It would be electronical or digital, and it's very interesting. I've got a few of the things that I'd like to discuss. It's one of the best home technology.
Let us see what you have.
Yes, so we'll start off with a countdown. This is the first one that I'll be talking about. It's basically a Withings, that's what it's called. It's an HD camera at home that you'd be able to use wirelessly. And it has a lot of different things. You wouldn't even need to set it up for a long time. It takes less than 30 seconds to set up. Here you'd be able to see everything, the viewing of the camera for safety. It also has speakers and microphones where you'd be able to listen to different songs at home, or even talk to someone else through your application. So if you were outside and you'd like to check on your kids, you'd be able to do so through your mobile application connected to this device, and you'd be able to talk to them through the speakers that it has. And also it has a lot of different recordings. So basically the recordings would be able to be seen for up to 2 days. It would be stored in the cloud itself. And even if you'd be able to have a really big storage and take the one with the bigger storage, you'd be able to have 7 days of full viewing of the camera itself and what's going on. So it's very secure and at the same time entertaining as well. Lisa here is a different design here. It's basically the bed, the ultimate bed that everyone wants to have, the mattress that is basically very interesting, because as we can see, as soon as you open it, it's like those old toys that we used to see. Yes. So if you fall on it, it's very stiff and it wouldn't annoy the other person next to you or anything beside it. So we're seeing here the type of things they made, like the experiments, to see how strong it is and that it's very rigid. And the next experiment is one of my favorite, because they have a cup here, as you can see, with water. And then this is actually a lot of weight. It's a kettlebell. And as you can see, the water did not spill. It did not even move at all. So you'd be able to...
The level is there.
Yes. And what's interesting is that you'd be able to do more on the mattress itself, because some people might want to drink or to even have their breakfast in bed. So it's just more
these people
safe.
are too lazy sometimes.
Yes, true. But it depends on what you're trying to do and what you're trying to see, because it's just better, so you don't have to worry about the water. And just the last one I'd like to show everyone is a lamp. You'd be able to control with your mobile application. You change the lights whenever, you set the time when it's up and when it's not, so you don't have to worry about closing your lamp or not closing it. Just set it to daytime and change the colors based on to what you want. So those are just a few of the things you'd be able to see for home technology and innovative ideas at home.
Thank you very much.
You're
I like
welcome.
the idea of the bed. I think this is
We're
shocking.
changing our mattress.
Well, this is shock absorption, perhaps, and I like the light also when it changes at night from red perhaps to yellow. Sometimes it gives some a little bit of some romantic atmosphere. Our dear viewers, let us move to another part of the show. That is the kids. Please stay tuned with the big smile and the positive our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection show. That is the kids segment of the show with Dr. Amna. Dr. Amna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Tonight I would like to share with our nice kids some of the nice applications that we have picked up from the online websites. I would like to share 3 of the nice applications. The first one is what is called as Dr. Pandas. This application is a digital play with the street rug. Toddlers can finish some interesting tests exploring some cities by driving around with the vehicles.
Nice.
The Dr. Panda itself, which is the feature, welcomes the kids in these 2 beautiful game worlds and quickly come across friends and also who are driving with different type of cars, as you can see.
Dr. Panda, huh?
Yes.
Well, very nice this.
Yes. The second application, it is called as Emil and Pauline in the Jungle.
Very nice. In the jungle, huh?
Yes. This adventure with the kids application offers interesting collection of educational games, all around subject like English language. It's a total of 5 educational games with 1 fun award game found in a beautiful collection with which kids are the first grade can practice primary reading and writing skills. This is so beneficial for such kids application.
Okay.
The third one is called as Sheldon Bedtime Stories. This is a cute like turtle, sweet endless runner application with a new storybook series. It starts off with the bedtime story.
Very nice.
This slow turtle actually won the race against the fast and allowed to take the golden trophy home with some of the friends, as we all know about the old story of the turtle and the rabbit. So this application will be so fun for our kids.
Thank you very much. Very nice. It is very nice.
Yes.
You remind me of the turtle and the rabbit.
Yes.
This is an old story.
Yes. Who won the first? The rabbit says, I will win because I'm fast. But the turtle was quiet and so slowly moving.
Yeah.
At the end, who was slowly and quiet has won against the rabbit who slept, because he's always saying that I'm going to win the game, only saying without moving or working.
He was too confident.
Too confident,
Winning,
yes.
it's not a good thing at all.
And the too confident, sometimes it is overconfidence, they call this. This is where people just fall. You
Yes,
see?
truly.
When they go a little bit high in their morale.
Yes, it's just that they guarantee that they're going to succeed and neglect all the different things that could actually happen.
Exactly.
Yes.
Well, I'll never say this, we will make it or not. Always we ask our prayers from Almighty Allah to give us the support to finish our jobs. Thank you very much, Dr. Amna. You remind us of the turtle and the rabbit. Let us move now to another part of the show. That is the report. Please stay tuned after the break with the big smile and the positive energy.
We could test kidney medicine on this, or we could test it on this. We could test heart medicine on this, or we could test it on this. We could test lung medicine on this, or we could test it on these. According to Humane Society International, 115 million animals are used in lab experiments worldwide. But what if they didn't need to be? What if we didn't need real organs to test drugs? These are organs on chips. I'm Daisy Rosario, and I'm on a mission to find tomorrow. Today, I'm in Boston at Harvard's Wyss Institute for Biological Engineering. Since 1950, the number of approved drugs in the U.S. has been decreasing, even though we're spending more money than ever on pharmaceuticals. And before drugs can be given to any actual human beings in a clinical trial, they have to go through a lengthy process of lab and animal testing. This is Don Ingber, a cell biologist and bioengineer. He's not the biggest fan of the drug development industry.
Right now, they'll spend $500 million easily, or billions, 15 years, get to the clinical trial, have many thousands of patients, and fail. That the drug development model is broken.
But Dr. Ingber likes a challenge. When Dr. Ingber was at Yale, he was studying molecular biology, But there was something else that caught his eye.
There were students walking around campus with structures that looked like jewels or geodesic dome-type structures, and I asked, what was that? And they said, oh, it's in an art class. I said, what's the name of the art class? And they said, three-dimensional design.
He talked his way into that art class by explaining to the professor that those sculptures reminded him of something.
I was learning that at the level of molecules, it's the shape on the molecule that dictates its function.
So on the first day of class, the professor hands out some wooden dowels and fishing line, and he tells the class to make an object out of them.
But the sticks can't touch. You could only pull them up into a 3D shape by strings, and it has to hold itself open.
The professor left. At first, nothing happened.
But all of a sudden, somebody who must have seen one of the sculptures of Kenneth Snelson, who built these structures called tensegrity, tensional integrity, built a 3-stick structure, and it's kind of wild. It's like you don't think it's possible.
The professor also had another model out, one that could collapse and pop back into shape, just like the molecules Dr. Ingber had been studying. So the next day, he went back to the biology department.
And we used a drug that caused the shape to change, and I said to the postdoc, oh, the tensegrity changes.
So Dr. Ingber took what he learned in art class and applied it to his studies in the lab. Tensegrity became the basis of his career, and it led him to organs on chips. So here's an example of how a lung on a chip is used. Here in the middle, there's this tiny, tiny channel that can be filled with fluids. And at this small scale, fluids behave in some interesting ways. There's even a special name for it.
Microfluidics.
In these tiny channels, fluids don't mix with each other. They stay separated by a small membrane, but they can still interact with each other. Scientists fill one side with air and the other with a liquid that simulates blood. On the blood side, there are real living white blood cells. On the air side, there are human lung cells and bacteria. The air and the blood pass through the channel, and while that's happening, the sides expand and contract. This simulates breathing. And these are the kinds of forces Dr. Ingber was talking about. Turns out this is a pretty accurate representation of a lung, which is amazing. It means that cells in these tiny chips are interacting with each other like they do inside a real human. And this has some far-reaching benefits. This is Geraldine Hamilton. She's the president of Emulate, a company trying to use these chips to fix the broken pharmaceutical industry.
The current ways of testing if a drug is going to be safe or if it's going to work, if it's going to be efficacious, involve either cells in simple dishes or the use of animal testing.
That means subjecting animals to the dangers of untested drugs. Many of those tests don't even predict how the drugs will work in humans, which can lead to the drug failing in clinical trials.
The great thing about the organs on chips is that you could work on the mechanism of how it works on human, as opposed to work years on mouse and then find out it's different in human.
And that could help speed up the development of drugs and identify problems with them much earlier.
Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection Show, to the environment segment of the show. As a matter of fact, let us go straight to my monitor and see what we have for the environment. The environment is important. China, dead cars and what to do with them. This is a huge problem there in China. China has a problem, and very big one. Dead cars and what to do with them. End of life vehicles, they call it, or ELV. Is what the recycle industry calls them. The root of all those ELVs, it's the pollution, and it is choking the country, and it is growing faster than can be fixed. As the purchasing power of this hugely expanded middle class has increased, so their desire for cars, trucks, motorcycles and scooters. Now China, one of the richest countries in the world, you see, while high pollution levels used to be perceived as a Beijing problem, they are far more widespread today. As radically increased vehicle use spreads to the adjoining countryside, so do the pollution problems. So that's a bad cooling effect on tourism, something that they can hardly afford in an already shaky economy. China's answer is that, at least on paper, to strict limit inefficient vehicles. This is, well, inefficient vehicles, we took them out of the road. This has generated a glut of discarded inefficient vehicles. Acres and acres of domestic discarded cars, trucks, buses, bikes, and scooters is a fairly new phenomenon in China, and they are not quite sure what to do about it. And the other problem, can you believe it? China imports this recycling certainly isn't new to China. For decades, European and North American countries have sent recyclables to China for processing. As if it is not enough what they have, the European Union sent to them. So, according to the Bureau of International Recycling, China imported up to 15 million tons of plastic scrap annually, and for the most part, profit from this, of course. But there is a lot of problems. Numerous industry papers and briefly discussed China history of problem with important recycling when discussing the challenges. We see the problem of these discarded cars. Roughly 20% of what China took in form of the world was not recyclable. So they import what is supposed to be recycled, then they cannot recycle, and this makes a big problem for them, combined with less than strict, even well-coordinated laws and practices governing such disposal. It is a recipe for disaster. Well, this is what we have for tonight. So please take care about the environment with those ELVs, they call them, you see, when the end of life cars or vehicles comes to the end, then what can we do with them? Scrap or anything? Well, this takes a little bit of effort. Our dear viewers, let us move now to another part of the show, that is the poem. Please stay tuned after the break with a big smile and positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection show. We go straight to Engineer Farah to tell us all about the poems. And as I promised you, one day you will see some post here writing poems in something which is very interesting, relating technology to romantics. Anyway, let us go to Farah to see what she has for us. Farah.
Today's poem, as I said earlier, is about nature and a garden. But it's not any garden, it's the garden that your grandmother keeps and makes sure it's very nice. So the title of it is Garden of Gold.
Title of Gold.
Yes,
wow,
a Garden of Gold,
nice.
yes. And it starts off by saying, I walk through the garden on this warm summer's day to smell the flowers that Grandma raised. In the middle of this garden of gold stood this one single red stem rose. The rose means so many things, from the ones you receive on your wedding day to the one you get on Valentine's Day. But this single rose standing here today represents the love Grandma gave. From the love she gave when she planted it that day to the love she gave us each and every day. So when you pass this garden of gold, remember the love that this rose holds.
Well, this is very nice, very interesting. The Garden of Gold?
Yes.
Well, this means all types of roses and flowers?
Not any roses, the red roses.
The red roses. Well,
So nice.
very nice. Well, some people like the red roses. Anyway, let us move now. Thank you very much, Farah. Let us move now to another part of the show, that is health and wellness. Please stay tuned after the break with the big smile and the positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers. Please take care of your health, because this is very important. So many people want you to be around with them, and please follow us with this segment so that you can keep very nicely fit, and of course you know what to do with yourselves when some circumstances do happen every now and then. Dr. Amna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Tonight, I would like to discuss some important topic regarding what is called as leukemia, which might be some scary to some people as a title per se. Actually, this title is very important nowadays since we are facing every day a lot of cases that are discovered incidentally, like while just coming to the emergency room with might be upper respiratory tract infection or mild cough. And we can find a lot of patients which are having the cancer, what is called blood diseases in our committee. So I would like tonight to emphasize on some important issue regarding such disease. So first of all, what is meant by a leukemia? Can be as a word. I can subdivide it into leuko, which is white, and emia, which is blood. It is what is called as war of blood cells. This disease is most common cancer and blood in children. It is more in males than females and might be described as accumulation of immature blood cells. Normally, people have a factory which manufactures some important blood cells that can grow by age and can be reaching into adult, for example, size or adult shape. But in such disease, there are immature blood cells that are not mature enough that can be accumulated in the body and can cause some diseases in specific part of the body. This disease is very important nowadays to mention because, as I said, it is only accidental discovery. As many patients are coming to our casualty with only generalized weakness, pallor, or reduced appetite, losing weight, or mild pain, or even fever, or skin rash, or joint swelling per se. So we are digging through history and even taking a more detailed history and digging through the family history, and even some families or some parents, they are not even remembering that their child have or their family even have some cancer disease per se. This topic, I wouldn't like to make the people scary of such, but I would like to make them more confident that the treatment is available for such disease in children. So we always in such disease do a basic lab test, basic blood film, what we call, and more detailed test, which is called the bone marrow. As you can see here, it can be taken from specific areas of the bone of the body. And can give us a confirm that such patient have a disease or not. This disease actually have different courses. It might be acute, less than 2 weeks, or even more than 3 weeks, and it can stay for long. So such disease require prolonged treatment, and it is available nowadays. It might take 2 years or more. But I would like to make the people more confident that different protocols are available, especially in our country and in collaboration with other like UK, US, and we are trying to collaborate for them for seeing our patient nowadays. There are different protocols, as I said, different duration, and even the blood tests they are taking nowadays, not only from the hand as usual, but are there even centralized to make the patient more comfortable. Such treatment even can make our patient low immunity and they can get infection very easily. That's why we sometimes keep them isolated from their school for a specific period of time until they reach the, like what we can say, confident level of immunity that can face the committee with. So in specific emergency time, after discharging the patient, for example, specific period of treatment at the beginning, according to the protocol and according to the type, any emergency, for example, fever, pain, vomiting, diarrhea, or even some abnormal movement, they can seek medical advice immediately. What is a very important take-home message from such title tonight, I would like to emphasize the awareness of such disease, not to be scared of such name or such topic, because the treatment is available and even the prognosis is very good in children. There are many cases are treated, they are grown, and some of them reached the university, the college, and they are married and they have children even.
No threat on their lives?
No at all. Some of them, they had some complication, not related maybe to, like, it wasn't compliant to the treatment. Some of them, the parents, they are refusing the treatment because they are scaring of such title, which is the cancer per se. But in children, the prognosis is very good, the treatment is available, and the care actually in our country is very excellent, especially they are collaborating with other countries even, they are seeking advice from second opinion from different areas. So treat early, diagnose early, and be confident and treated very early.
Thank you very much, doctor. Just one question, this comes to me. Isn't it dangerous, this leukemia problem, Dr. Amna, on those kids at early stage, and how to deal with this? Is it because of the nutrition habits of the kids and the family?
Actually, nowadays we are having increased rate of such disease. It wasn't more obvious than before, becoming more even with the early ages of patient,
yes.
we can say. There are many risk factors. There are many genetic factors, we can say. There are no specific cause that we can depend on. Even until nowadays, there are a lot of researches going on. But until now, we can't give such disease a specific cause. It's only risk factor, we can say. It is more of family history. It's more of genetics, like rule. Nutrition. It might be some correlation, but we are not like 100% confident that such nutrition or such food, type of food, it is a cause, but it might be related to many cases.
If they don't eat a special type of food, perhaps this causes
yes,
something.
of course. But in early stages, for example, a baby was born with 2 months, I can't depend, it's only a breast milk or even the bottle milk or special formula. So I can't say that such food can be related to the cancer. So it might be another factor. It might be genetic or family history or other related factor. More researchers are going on, and in the coming future we can see maybe more of genetic rule of treatment even.
I see.
So
let us hope.
Yeah, there is a big hope for our children.
To awareness, you said awareness. I think awareness in the schools, perhaps very important.
Yes.
For the parents also.
Yes.
I think there has to be some campaign.
Yes, true.
And the media.
To make sure, even if with the even small sign and symptoms, they have to make sure with further investigation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amna, for this interesting subject. Our dear viewers, let us move now to another segment of the show. That is the mobile after the break with the biggest smile and a positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers. Can we live without a mobile? Well, this is a question. Can we live without Google? Well, this is another big question. Let us see what Google is doing for us and how we are treating Google, or they are treating us. This is a big question. To be without a Google or not to be? Let us go straight to the monitor which I have here, the mobile. Well, 7 best Google apps and tools. I will speak about the 3, perhaps 4 if I can tonight because of the time limitation. So let us see. When we think of Google, we usually think of the internet search engine and their most popular products such as Android and even YouTube. Can you believe it? Can you live nowadays without YouTube? Let alone Google. YouTube is entering our life heavily. However, there are many other services developed by Google available on the internet today with various functions such as search engines focused on old books, scholarly articles, and organization. Apps, Google Keep. What is this Google Keep? With versions available for desktops and mobile, Google Keep is an ideal for people who need to recognize or organize a busy routine. For those who, like me, myself, make a list of for everything. Our life. With a colorful and intuitive interface resembling a post-it, Google Keep lets you create notes and list the tasks to do, and to do things, of course, and to even set reminders and warnings provided in the app's commitments. Put photos and check what has already been done. Google Scholar, well, this is Google Scholar tool. Allows anyone to make specific searches for scholarly articles in various subjects. A very powerful search tool for students and teachers. Google Scholar is available in many languages, and of course it is very useful when Gmailify. This is very important. The Gmail application allows the users of other email platforms such as Yahoo and Outlook to link them to their Gmail account so that all of their emails could be accessed from a single screen. And this is very important. Thus, all the typical Gmail features such as inbox organizing, filters become accessible to the services. The idea is to simplify all their email accounts into the Gmail. Google Lego. This is very important one. You know this Google Lego. This is a very important game, and on the website built with the Chrome, users can build whatever their imagination will allow with Lego blocks. I think this is a very interesting one. The website is free, and although it was created by a partnership between Google Australia and Lego, it can be accessed and used by people around the world to build the new creations or explore the projects of their users. Is that, what did we say? This is Google? Only Google? I think this is just mastering, commanding our lives in every aspect of our life. We will carry on, tell you more about Google, they call it. How can we live without a Google? This is the question. Let us move now to the technology with the big smile and the positive energy. Please stay tuned. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection Show. Can we live without a technology? Can we live without innovations? Can we live without mobile? Can we live without health, wealth, everything? This is very important. So everything, hopefully you can benefit from this show. Let us move now straight to Engineer Farah to tell us all about the technology trends. Farah, the floor is yours.
Today I'm going to talk about a specific bag. I think it's one of my, the ultimate favorite, and my favorite as well.
So much favorites nowadays you have, Farah.
Yes, no, especially when it comes to bags.
I see.
Can you imagine your bag without having the wires of your charger phone would be able to charge your phone?
Oh.
The pocket, imagine a pocket of a small bag would be able to charge your phone.
This is very ideal.
Yes,
very
if you're
nice.
traveling, you're going somewhere else, you're always on the go.
How can you do with the charging?
I have to show you.
Well, please go ahead and tell us.
So you could actually see. So this is what it looks like. And here you see that this is the bag itself. Simply by, you could also open it and put all the different cards you have. Yes. The top of it, basically all you do is attach your phone to the bag itself. And as soon as you detect that there is no charging, here this is the old type of bags where you have a lot of wires, you're portable.
Exactly.
Simply by attaching it right now, as we can see, you're charging your phone. And this is how you charge the bag as a whole. Yes. It's very interesting. It looks like a really nice bag.
Yes.
And you'd be able to travel with it, go anywhere, even to work sometimes. You're always on the go. You've got a lot of meetings. So this is one of the types. And I'd like to show you the other type of bags as well. There are different types. See here, this is a pocket. And simply by putting it inside, it's going to charge your phone.
Very nice.
And then here you have the Everpurse, the same thing as well. You'd be able to open it and charge your phone. Another type is Force as well. And over here, those are pack bags for those people that like to go camping. As you can see, you'd be able to charge your phone as well.
Very nice.
And also this is for your iPad and your phones. And finally, this is the one also for camping, those people that like to go camping and you just don't know where to plug in your wire for your phone and you don't know where to charge it. Simply using your bag would be charging your phone.
Magic?
Yes, perhaps.
Well, I like this. I think this is a good present to give to somebody.
Definitely.
To surprise them. I think this will be
especially
very nice.
people that love to travel a lot.
Yes. I think the Power bank now is a big problem because the huge power banks now to charge their mobile. So let us move now to another part of the show, that is the books, good reads. Please stay tuned after the break with the big smile and the positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers. I think we need always to concentrate on reading. Perhaps this habit is a little bit going away from our lives. So we always like to remind you of the importance of reading. And this part always with Dr. Amna. What have you got for us tonight?
Tonight I would like to share with you one of funny books that describe some medical issues in a very interesting way. This book, it is called Is It Me or Is It Hot in Here?
Is it me or is it hot in here?
Yes. The author actually is very famous one.
Yes.
She is a famous in broadcasting in radio for women since 1987,
Yes.
and awarded some honors for radio broadcasting, contributing to numerous newspapers and magazine for an even filmmaker. This book actually is a modern woman guide to what is called as menopause. It's a funny guide to menopause, and it is the one book that will tell how does it look like, and how it is it's not the end of the world, and the guide for any woman approaching or going through the menopause, and who want even to know how it's really happened and what are the medications that affect it and how treatment can be.
Is it medical,
useful.
doctor? Let us see some inside it. Some.
Yes, it's actually without any picture, but it's
Yes.
more of
Informative?
Yes, it's describing, for example, at the beginning some physiological, psychological, and social issue even
Really?
for such a period of time, and after that it describes some of the medications that can affect such period of time, and then some of experience that, or even the funny experience, actually, what is called. That written by the author. It is very interesting in its a language. It's easy and for everyone.
It's from her own experience.
Yes.
Very
and
nice.
for others' experience also, not only her own experience.
Yes, very nice.
What some advices that she gives for such women who are reaching such period, and they can benefit in how to deal with such changes and how to look and feel like. It's an attractive and enjoyable titles, and how become a battleground, and how others can know about such period of time.
Let me see this, doctor. Is it me or is it hot in here? A
Yes.
modern woman's guide to the menopause.
Yes.
Well, this is some sort of medication for it. Yes.
Yes.
Social life, and I think this is very interesting.
It's a combination, more of approaching of the medical period of time in menopause in the social and psychosocial and even medical way. It's not only a medical per se.
It's the perfect guide for all the women
Yes.
ranging from 45 to 55
Yes.
years old.
True.
Thank you very much, Dr. Amna. I think we need to read. We advise everybody to read. Tell their kids and children to read. Buy books from the bookstore, and I think it is a good habit to read because a lot of knowledge is gained. Well, now, downloadable files, ebooks perhaps, or otherwise, the paper-wise, still we need to read. Our dear viewers, let us move now to another part of the show, that is the report. Please stay tuned after the break with the big smile and the positive energy.
An exciting new technology that could fundamentally change the way that people will communicate in the future. Imagine being able to virtually teleport from one space to another in real time. Hey, Sergio,
Yes,
how does it feel like to be holoported?
it feels great to be holoported.
So if Sergio is to wear his HoloLens device, and I'm going to wear mine, we can see each other in full 3D in real time. We can interact and communicate as if we're co-present. Sergio, can you walk around my space? Can you walk behind this chair? So we're doing everything to give the impression that Sergio and I are present in the same space. Sergio, let's just do a high five. That's great. Thank you, Sergio. We call this technology holoportation. Now, to make all this happen, we've had to create a new type of 3D capture technology. I'm surrounded by these 3D cameras that we've developed in our team. Each of them is capturing me from a separate viewpoint, and we're fusing this data together to create a temporally consistent model, as you can see reconstructed live behind me. Now, the camera that's filming me has a HoloLens tracking system attached, and this allows us to take these 3D models and composite them in real time into the real world, as you can see here. And that gives you a sense of the fidelity of the reconstructions that we can achieve. Once we have these reconstructions, we can texture them. We can then compress the data and transmit the data over to the other side. Over on the other side, a user wearing a HoloLens can see these remote participants live in their space as if they're co-present. And that's what we're showing you picture in picture. Now imagine using this type of capture technology to connect with family members who are thousands of miles away. And that's exactly what we're going to demonstrate to you right now. My daughter is stood in a similar capture rig somewhere else in our lab. And she's going to holoport into my space, and I'm going to interact with her wearing my HoloLens.
Hi, Bob, I miss you.
Hey, Lilia, I miss you too.
When are you coming home?
I'm coming home very soon. Let me get out of your way. Hey, Lilia, you can only hear me, you can't see me, but what are these toys?
I have toys to show you. This one is named as Elmo.
Elmo?
And he can sing.
He can sing, wow. And what about the other one?
The other one is called Tina, and I like it because it has different stuff.
Well, that's so cool. So Lilia, can you climb up on this chair that's behind you?
Climb?
Yeah, climb up. Be very careful. Now I'm going to count to 3 and I want you to jump. 1, 2, 3, jump! That was so cool. Oh, let me get out of your way again.
I like you so much.
I love you too.
Come home soon.
I'll be home very soon. Bye-bye. Now, in that example, we were demonstrating live 3D capture, but our system is capable of another thing. We can actually record and play back that entire session. Now, this is almost like reversing through time. And if I wear my HoloLens device, it's almost like walking into a living memory that I can see through another pair of eyes from all these different perspectives. And because this is 3D content, we can miniaturize it onto this coffee table and experience it in a more convenient manner. And this becomes a magical way of experiencing these live captured memories. Now imagine being able to teleport to any place with anyone at any time. And that's what holoportation is all about. Thank you for watching.
Hello, our dear viewers. Welcome again to the Web Collection Show. We go straight to Dr. Amna to tell us all about the quotes and wisdom. Dr. Amna, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Tonight I would like to share with you all about some of the nice quotes that we are picking tonight for our viewers. The first one is, making a big life change is pretty scary, but you know what's even scarier, which is regret.
Okay.
The secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new.
Very nice. Yes.
The fact of life is everyone is happy with you. Surely you would have made a lot of compromises in your life.
Very true.
Always
true.
the case.
It is always you have to compromise, otherwise nobody will stay.
This one I like it so much. Believe when others doubt.
Oh.
Work when others refuse.
Oh,
Save when others waste.
very nice.
Stay when others quit. And you will win when others lose.
Can you say this again, please? I like this one.
Yes,
Very nice.
Very
yes.
nice one. Believe when others doubt.
Oh.
Work when others refuse.
Mhm.
Save when others waste. Stay when others quit. And you will win when others lose.
Wow, that's very interesting.
Yes,
very true.
very
and This is
nice.
very well, very nice. Thank you very much,
Yes.
Doctor. Please go on. That was very good
Yes.
quote, Doctor. I think this is work when others don't, they quit.
Yes.
So motivational
So
to keep
motivational,
you going no
yes.
matter where you are in life and just keep going
True.
forward.
Yes, I think this is very good advice. Thank you very much, Dr. Amna. Never lose hope. Keep smiling. If you don't know how to smile, please, you can watch this show and then you have the big smile on your faces and the positive energy. Please stay tuned after the break. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome again to the Web Collection Show. We go straight to the social media and how to protect our kids. Let us go to see what we have for you. How to protect kids from the smartphones and tablets. Well, this is a very big thing, very big issue. We try to summarize it. Kids these days are obsessed with social media, texting, exchanging pictures, and watching videos. However, the online world also confronts young users with many potential dangers, including scams, explicit content, identifying theft, and of course, cyberbullying. I think these are very important and very dangerous sometimes. As a parent, you have the responsibility to keep your children safe, and that now extends to online safety. This is very important. So very important as such. There are a number of things you can do to ensure your kids utilize online platforms in a safe and secure manners. Of course, these are some of them. Check out the full information which we are going to tell you. How to keep your kids safe on the smartphone. This is one thing. Restrict app purchases. Don't let them buy, because sometimes they buy something and you never know. And also go to the parental control. You see this, I'm pointing it. Turn this on, because then it means they cannot go to those websites or download the application. Make the phone secure. This is very important. Use the smartphone owners are with victims of theft, of course. Use children have had their cell phones stolen. US children have their phone stolen. So this is very important. 1 of 10. 1 of 10. Tips: set tracking and data raising apps such as iCloud or Android device manager. Buy your child an inexpensive or used smartphones. Of course, install a cyber security app such as Find My iPhone or Find My Android. These are very important to keep your kids important, the tips. Of course, there are so much you can do for the kids also, and to have the locations, tips, and there not to enable them. Of course, it doesn't have to be in real time to be dangerous. You see, historical data can tell you a lot about individuals' day-to-day habits and may indicate where they are most likely to be at a certain time. Teach your kids appropriate sharing. This is very important also. 1 out of 10. They have the teens sharing. 1 out of 5 teens have either posted or sent some not good pictures. Ask your kids also, what are your friends doing online? What are the coolest new apps? What are your favorite applications? What to do? There are a few questions you have to ask your kids. I think these are very important. Some of them to know about and keep an eye on so that you don't lose track of your kids' social security online. Our dear viewers, please stay tuned after the break with the big smile and the positive energy. Hello, our dear viewers, and welcome to the last segment of the show, that is the fun and the smile. And we hope we have created some smiles on your faces. And I think by this we can end lately the show. Let us go straight to what I have on my monitor. You remember those old days when you have wires? Cables? Can you remember? Now we are living with wireless world, of course, but you can see these are like snakes with those routers and this. Of course, these machines, you really have to go work on keeping the cables neatly coiled. It is starting to look like a big messy pile of spaghetti. Well, this is, you see this one here? Actually, it is knocked my lunch onto the floor. Well, they are just joking with each other because you remember those old days. And of course, do you know what clouds are made up? The man is asking his kid. Sure, music files. You know the clouds now, they are storing. The clouds, it has meaning, another meaning than the real clouds, you see. This is another one. Also, my kids were complaining that all their puzzles are too easy. You can see these keyboards, you see. All the keys are put on this plate. If we go this one, all the keys, so they are left them just naked keyboards. Well, this guy is telling I'm not married, and his wife is just behind him. He's just lying and lying. Look at this guy, the big one here, this one. Well, at the library, there are people studying and working. These guys are just going to do a lot of work on the gym, and all he does all day is writing on the wall. The future Facebook addict. Can you believe this? These are the future kids who like to write on the walls on Facebook. I think this is the future trends nowadays, to see the kids knowing everything. They are texting the messages to their family, putting the posts on the Instagram, Snapchat, and the Facebook, and they are telling everybody to see them. And I think whatever you write, you will never forget that it will be remembered by all people. So put what is nice, representing your personality very well, so that after years and years and years, people can come back and say, well, this is very nice quotes he has posted in his page. Our dear viewers, we have come to the end of the show tonight. I would like to thank here my colleagues in the studio. I would like to thank Engineer Farah for being with us tonight. Thank you very much, Farah.
You're welcome.
And also I would like to thank Dr. Amna. Thank you very much, Dr. Amna, for being with us tonight.
Most welcome.
And I would like to thank everybody here in the studio and in the control. Until we see you next week, good night and